Time is almost up on the 2000 election. Presidential candidates have cast their ballots, and it's a nail-biter.
We are still without a clear winner for the next president. This tight election has raised many questions about the methods of counting ballots.
The decision will be made soon because the December 12th deadline is set by federal law.
Los Angeles polls close in less than an hour.
Residents say USC students will not vote for the candidate they feel will do the most good for this area.
Well, it was closer than many thought it would be, but Governor Gray Davis has won a second term as California's governor.
The next 4 years will bring some tough choices for Davis, with the state's budget deficit looming at $10 billion.
The day is finally here. Today is recall election day.
He said he had no trouble voting for himself.
And I always look for the longest name.
There has been some overcrowding at the polls, in part because only 2/3 of usual polling places are open.
Arnold Schwarzenegger has a new home in Sacramento. Less than a year after his re-election, Gray Davis was recalled by California voters.
Davis tried to gain more Latino support towards the end of his campaign, but many felt it was too little, too late.
We'll take you inside some of the most prominent issues in this upcoming election, from the war in Iraq to local initiatives that could change the future of Southern California.
His presidency is going to rise or fall on his ability to defend his actions during the war.
After years of improving his mobility, this year he decided to get involved in improving health care.
I love people, and I don't like seeing anybody suffer.
The Catholic Church's position on human life is that it begins at the moment of conception.
It's only small starts that ever have the big ideas, ever reform politics.
So while people come out in support of Ralph Nader's independent campaign for president, there are also those who shudder at the mere thought that he's even running.
It's a big day for LA as the mayoral elections are well underway.
Inside this UPS store, more people are sending packages than actually voting.
Well, here at USC, voter turnout wasn't much better.
We have less than 10 persons, and I believe the time is 12:50.
Voting is going to make the difference in this election.
Number one goal today is get people out to vote.
More than $250 million have been spent in California's 5th statewide special election, called 5 months ago by Governor Schwarzenegger.
He wanted a low turnout election, and the response to that is to knock on doors, tell people how important this is.
In this half hour, we'll cover some of the major propositions and the two leading candidates for California governor.
Always on your side. That's been Phil Angelides' battle cry, but voters don't seem to be on his side.
Now, the polls closed just over an hour ago, but Republicans here at Arnold's Victory Party are already celebrating.
Today, Hollywood's talking politics.
The debate has ended, but the buzz continues here in the spin room.
A small but loyal group of John McCain supporters erupted in excitement Tuesday night.
You are calling like crazy. It's emails. It's making contact with everybody you've ever volunteered with in the past. Now, the mood in the room did clearly dampen following news Obama had lost California.
And we've just learned from the Associated Press that former governor of Arkansas, Mike Huckabee, has announced that he will be dropping out of the race.
Stay with ATVN
for continuing coverage of Vote 2008. We'll bring you the candidates
and issues that
matter to you.
Just log on to our website,
atvn.org.
We realize you have a lot of options on election night, but only one organization brings you the student perspective on the candidates and issues that matter to you.
Join us on November 4th starting at 6 p.m. on Trojan Vision as we get our first look at voting results.
And then visit our continuing coverage at atvn.org. We'll have raw video, live updates, and the latest numbers throughout the night.
USC's first source for election news is Annenberg TV News.
Voters will decide how they want to define marriage in California.
My spouse or my husband or married, everybody gets that and understands it. If you tell somebody, oh, we're civil unioned or we're domestic partnered, some people get it, some people are like, huh?
Fight for what's right for America. Fired up!
2 years of campaigning, more than a dozen candidates on the trail. Each party picked their nominee, and tonight, Americans pick their president.
The propositions from stiffer sentencing to same-sex marriage, California voters finally get their say.
And the voters, long lines and problems at the polls today as many states see record turnout in this historic election. The latest results just moments away.
This is your Election Central. Annenberg TV News starts right now.
It's election night in America, and voter turnout is higher than ever. Good evening, everyone. I'm Matt Mendez.
And I'm Kirsten Benson. Many polls still open across the country, and many of the important battleground states remain too close to call.
Which current USC player would each candidate be, and how come?
Barack would probably be Joe McKnight at his very best in the open field because he looks like he's got some quickness. Senator McCain would probably be a guy covering kickoffs for us, and we'd hope that he could get down there and blow up the wedge. I'm sure he'd do that really well.
Hi, I'm live in Irvine at the Hyatt Hotel where the McCain campaign has set up their headquarters for tonight and their watch party.
I'm Katie Kim reporting live at the Hyatt Century Plaza Hotel here in Century City. Do you guys hear that right now? If you look behind me, this ballroom is just completely packed and more people are just rushing in right now. And so some of the people that I've talked to said that this is the change that they've been waiting for, and now we have just learned that Obama has won. He is now the next president of the United States.
The best political coverage on campus.
How you doing, USA?
Drill here and drill now.
On the air.
It's election night in America.
And online.
Live at the Annenberg TV Newsroom with breaking news.
With live reporters across the Southland.
Live here at the Registrar in Norwalk.
Live in Irvine.
Reporting live at Marks Tower.
Reporting live from the Music Box.
Obama has won this election.
USC's first source for political news is Annenberg TV News.